Hey y'all, welcome to Scooter's Kitchen. I'm Michelle. I'm making today Dorito Casserole. It is not an original recipe by me. It is actually from Katt over at Southern Farm and Kitchen. I highly suggest you check out her channel. It is wonderful. This is a little bit different than her recipe. I'm kind of doing a kitchen, cabinet, and fridge clean out. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is. Make things easy for your kitchen. If you don't have all of the ingredients for something, that's okay. I think a lot of people think there's so many rules and stipulations to cooking, but that's not true. I am cooking up 3 pounds of ground turkey. I'm going to make it into taco meat, and the recipe calls for ground beef, and of course it would taste better with ground beef. We are trying to be a little bit healthier. And also I got this 3-pound package of ground turkey for only $4 at Kroger. The original recipe is just like a pound of meat with a small can of cream of chicken condensed soup. I am doing a large batch of the meat so that way we can have it for other meals later this week. But I'll get to that. So right now, just cooking off, browning my ground turkey. I like to, whenever I'm making taco meat, I like to start browning the meat before I add the spices. I don't want it to be completely cooked because I really think that you get a lot of flavor when you toast your spices. But I just have it in a cast iron pan here on medium high. It still needs to do a little bit more brownings. I forgot to mention, it's called Dorito Casserole, so you're probably like, where is the Doritos? I'm not using Doritos. We have these Garden of Eden Wicked Hot tortilla chips. That is what I'm going to be using. I got these for $1.29 at Kroger. Again, this is recipe, just changing it to make it easy for my kitchen based off of her recipe. And cleaning out the cabinets. So I have this bag open. I'm just gonna crunch it up. You'd want your chips to be all crunched up pretty good. Not fine to where it's like cornmeal, but like cracker crumbs or what have you for a casserole. Now my turkey is about halfway cooked, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the seasonings. I don't buy taco packets. I just don't. I buy bulk of usually everything else. So I have got ground cumin. I buy this bulk at our local Rural King. I think that the 6 ounces of it is only $3 or $4. It is so cheap. I'm going to add garlic powder, onion powder, some oregano. Of course, I have my salt and my pepper. And I always add chili powder. And for more of a red color, I always like to put in some paprika too. Now, I'm making a large batch, so for 3 pounds of meat, I'm going to use a lot of spices. But for 1 pound, you would only need, salt's really to your preference, so I understand a lot of people out there have to be careful with the salt. But what I would do for our family is half a teaspoon of salt, probably the same of pepper, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons of cumin. It depends on how strong the cumin is, honestly. You can smell it. About a half teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. And the oregano, maybe just half a teaspoon. And then, of course, adjust salt, taste, and any of the other spices to your preference. Paprika, it's going to be different with different meats. Again, I really just add it for that color. For the turkey takes a lot of paprika to try to get that like red orangey color. Beef, you don't need it as much, and you could leave it out if you don't like it or if you don't have it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this seasoned and keep cooking away, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to layer our casserole. Okay, it smells so good in here, and I have to bring this turkey closer to you guys, or I could bring you closer to the turkey. You could definitely trick some people that they're eating beef, and they'd be being healthier and not even realize it. Not that I'm suggesting you should do that, but you know, a lot of us think like that. I'm going to add about a half a cup of water to this. help get any of my spices that might be sticking to the bottom. And it's also going to help keep cooking that meat better, keep it juicy. And I kind of feel like it makes a little bit of a natural gravy because of the amount of spices that I add. And I don't have to add any kind of thickener to this. No flour, no cornstarch, any of your other thickening agents out there. I just add that water. I'm going to turn the heat down about a little over medium just so it can keep simmering. Because the longer that you cook this taco meat, it's going to be more crumbly. And we really like our taco meat to be really crumbly. If you like the big chunks of meat in your tacos, then you're going to cook this for a lot less, and you might not even need to add the water. In fact, you might not want to add the water at all. But you know how like Taco Bell or maybe some of the Mexican restaurants, their ground beef is really fine. I can promise you that they're cooking it in broth or water. You can cook like chili. When you cook it in a liquid, it's going to make that ground a lot finer without being dry or losing any flavor. Oh, and sorry if you can hear the meowing in the background. That is my cat Bagheera. He always has to watch me cook and give his commentary. Alright, I'm just going to cook this for a few minutes longer. I may add just a little bit more water because it is so much turkey. If you are doing 3 pounds of meat, like if you're wanting to do a big batch for the week, I ended up adding about a couple tablespoons or so of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, a heaping teaspoon of garlic powder or more, about a teaspoon of oregano, a couple teaspoons of paprika, a teaspoon of pepper, a couple teaspoons of salt, and a couple tablespoons of, or a little bit less though, of cumin. Got this ground turkey ready. I just wanted you guys to see that up close. I mean, how could you know that's ground turkey? I mean, you can tell a little difference when you're tasting it, but when you add enough chili powder and cumin, I'm telling you, Mexican food, you can make it so healthy. So, I've got that. Got the ground meat ready. So, you're going to need your crushed Doritos, your normal sized bag. You could do the party size bag if you want more, like chips in it. You've got your crushed Doritos. You've got your ground meat of choice. You're going to need some shredded cheese, as much or as little as you'd like. A small can of cream of chicken. You could use cream of mushroom. I'm using cream of mushroom today because that's what I have. And there is a burrito casserole that I use cream of mushroom in, and I will have to do a video of that because that is a really good casserole. So easy. But anyways, and you'll need some taco sauce. I'm using some home canned salsa because that's what we have. So here I have my oven preheating to 350. In fact, it's already preheated. I have a greased casserole pan here. Out of my 3 pounds, I'm just going to scoop some into a bowl so I can mix it with the cream of mushroom. I don't want to mix all of that meat with cream of mushroom because we might want to have just plain tacos later this week. Alright, you guys, I took out about 1.5 pounds of that ground meat and mixed it with a can of cream of mushroom. And actually, I had a large can of cream of mushroom, so I just used 1/3 of that. And I'll put the rest in a Tupperware container and use it for other recipes later this week. Don't ever store your open cans in the fridge. Always put it in Tupperware. Anyways, so here it is, mixed really well with the cream of mushroom. So I'll have that set to the side so I can layer. I'm using a pretty large, I believe this is a 9x13 casserole pan. So I may only get like 1 layer of meat in there, which is fine, but I wanted to make sure I had 1.5 pounds of meat because I know me and my husband would like it more meaty. And that got me thinking, you could definitely put some refried beans in this. That would be so good. And if you don't want the cheese, don't put the cheese. You're already going to have whatever flavor chip. I know Katt over at Southern Farm and Kitchen, she used nacho cheese Doritos. I mean, everybody loves those. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put a layer of these Dorito crumbs or tortilla chip crumbs on the bottom. Once I get it layered, I'll show you. It's going to be about half of this bag. This is a 10-ounce bag. Here is your layer of chips. Now I'm going to scoop on the meat. Now you're not going to want your meat to move your chips around because you really want that layer of chips. So be careful. Like, I'm just going to kind of scoop and kind of lightly spread it. And since we wanted a pound and a half of meat in ours, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to get it spread out. But if you are just using a pound of meat or what have you, I mean, whatever, make it easier for your kitchen. So if you're using even less meat than that, use a smaller casserole pan. Then you can have thicker layers, or you can just put multiple layers in it, like some kind of crazy Mexican lasagna. Which, of course, this is not authentic Mexican food. This is so Americanized. So just don't want anyone thinking I'm claiming this is authentic. By no means. Just good. Casseroles are good. I don't know if that's a Midwest thing, but I tell you what, I could go to anyone's house, and if they're telling me they have an A, B, C, D casserole, whatever, I'm going to be pretty happy. You'll have to let me know if casserole is something, if that's a Midwest thing, if it's just a comfort food thing, maybe it's just a Michelle thing. I just really like casseroles. I actually don't cook casseroles a lot here at home, probably because there's always cheese and stuff in them when we try to be healthy. Okay, so I have my layer of meat. That spread out really easy with that pound and a half. So you can kind of see on the edge. And I greased my pan with just a little bit of butter because I just had a tablespoon of butter out, so why not? And I've got some Mexican blend, shredded cheese, and mixed with cheddar. I don't think I'm going to use all this cheese. I don't plan to, but if I do, it is a big casserole. So just sprinkle the cheese around if you want it, if you want cheese. All of that cheese. I would say that was about 2 cups of cheese. So you're just your average bag of cheese. Make it as cheesy as you want. We typically make things less cheesy here. So there is that. Cover your layer of cheese. And no cheese can be wasted. So we gotta get those scragglers. Alright, and then last I'm gonna put the rest of the chips on top. Well, and that's not last. There's one more thing after that. And if I left too many chips for the top, I'll save them for taco salad tomorrow. Nope, I think I have just enough. So a 9 or 10 ounce bag. This is a 10 ounce bag. I think Doritos is like 9 1/4. Will cover your 9 by 13 casserole for a bottom layer and a top layer perfectly. You definitely could not have a middle layer with this amount. If you wanted a middle layer, you would need to have a bigger bag of chips. Okay, so I'm just kind of lightly spreading that out. I want to make sure I get some to the edges, because I know that's where the cheese is going to bubble up the most. Okay, and then I'm just using some of my home canned mango habanero salsa. We like stuff spicy around here. And I'm going to drizzle it over like you would taco sauce, you know, just like drizzle it, see if you can see it. I'm just kind of making lines with it. New to this whole video thing, this is the first video I have ever done, period. So if I can figure out how to link Katt's video for her recipe of this, I will do so below. I should be able to at least put the link in the description box. But here is some stripes. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the 350-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's all bubbly. And the rule of that, like when everyone says bake it until it's bubbly, my rule of thumb is I always wait for bubbles to appear in the middle. It's going to be like beautiful and bubbly on the edge pretty soon, but once I can see like just a little bit of like a simmer or a movement in the middle, then I know that it is plenty hot enough all the way through and it's done. As sometimes if you have a big enough casserole, it can bubble on the edge, not the middle. You'll think it's done, and then somebody is gonna get a cold piece. Nobody wants cold casserole. All right, I'll bring you guys back when it's done. Y'all, here is the casserole. You can hear that sizzle. It smells incredible in this house right now. So I'm gonna let it chill and serve that. I'll let it chill for about 10 minutes, and I cooked it for 37 minutes. Alright, y'all. Here it is in all its glory. I am so excited to eat this. It is like, I guess I can't really call mine a Dorito casserole since I didn't use Doritos, but like a walking taco casserole. And you know, you can put whatever toppings you want, do your thing. I just put the lettuce on each side. I put pico over all of it. I got a corner piece, so I don't know if you can kind of see like that crust. Yeah, I am drooling. Alright, I'm gonna taste it real quick because I don't know how a YouTube video would be if somebody didn't taste it. Oh my god. That's Bagheera. I'm so sorry. He wants some of this. This is so good. This is the shit. Excuse my language. Oh. Alright. Go check out Katt over at Southern Farming Kitchen for the original recipe. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, or maybe what variation you're gonna make. Till next time, make it easy for your kitchen, guys. Bye.